Yeah, what's up? This is Cyber Marcello Currents, rain back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-America all day, anti-cop all day. So this video right here is gonna be about real child marriages, real child marriage cases that should have never happened in America. Now I'm giving you real cases. I went and did some more research because I wanted to see if there was some more information I could find out about child marriage. And lo and behold, I found some real cases in the Wikipedia and all of that. So it's official information. It's not articles. I'm getting Wikipedia information. So this is technical, official information that they probably have to release whether they like it or not. So these are real cases, real child marriages is what I entitled this video, that should have never happened in America. These are real child marriages, real ones, real ones. These are real individuals. So now I'm up to the point where I'm showing you now real child marriages. Okay? So I'm going to just go get into them. The first one is coming out of Idaho in 2010. So what's that? 12 years this child has been married. That's a shame. In Idaho, 2010, a 65-year-old man marries a 17-year-old girl. 65? 17? 17, man. With a 65-year-old man. This is a technical government marriage that should have never happened. Why did the American government acknowledge this marriage? This is the question you should ask. Why did they allow this? This is an official marriage. This information is from Wikipedia, so this is an official marriage that is recognized by the American government. So why was it allowed? Why was a 65-year-old man allowed to marry a 17-year-old girl? It's no desire that a 17-year-old girl would have for a 65-year-old man. Now, come on. Come on now. Come on now. And here it is 12 years later. So that girl now is 29. And the man is, drum roll, 77 years old, man. He's 77 years old and she's 29. Now she's coming too. She's 29. And he's 77 years old. Again, in the state of Idaho, 2010, a 65-year-old man married a 17-year-old girl. Right? That attempt should have never been recognized to marry this girl in the state of Idaho. It should have never been recognized by the state of Idaho and the American government as a marriage that makes sense. 65-year-old with a 17-year-old girl. Now, the next one is in the state of Alabama. A 74-year-old man marries a 14-year-old girl. He's almost older than the other man is right now. The other man right now is 77. This man, when he got married, this next man in Alabama was 74 years old. He married a 14-year-old girl. Again, this is a child marriage that should have never happened in America. This is real, guys. Go look it up on Wikipedia. This is real. In the state of Alabama, a 74-year-old man, they don't release the names, obviously for his sake. An Alabama man, 74 years old, marries a 14-year-old girl. 74 years old. 14. Now, if you had seen this man out in public messing around a 14-year-old girl, a 74-year-old man messing around a 14-year-old girl, what would you do? If you seen a 74-year-old man messing around one of your 14-year-old girls in your family, what would you do? What would you want done to a 74-year-old man messing around your 14-year-old girl? You would want something done about it. Okay? Now, technically speaking, if he had had sex with the girl, he would have got locked up. It's many places in the country, let's just look at it like this. It's many places in the country where this man would have been locked up for having sex with a 14-year-old girl, him being 74 years old. You see how there's a contradiction in the laws? Because I'm pretty sure the age of consent in Alabama is not 14. But he's able to marry her as if he's doing something honorable. It's perversion. It's official perversion. It's official. These child marriages are official pedophilia, wedlock. It's official pedophilia. It's official. Stamps on it. Putting a ring on it. That part. And here's the worst one. 3 10-year-old girls. I don't know what it is about 10 in the state of Tennessee, but 3 10-year-old girls in Tennessee in 2001 married men the ages of 24, 25, and 31. 10-year-old girls. And see, I don't care how old the adults are. What adult should be messing with a 10-year-old girl? Adult now. I'm talking about, you know what adult age is? Beyond 18. Now, if you're under 18 and kids are messing around with each other, that's a family situation. That's not a legal situation. That's a 7. Well, you need to, they both children, right? Well, that child needs to be beaten. But it's not a legal situation when you got 2 children. If they're both under the age of 18, you can handle that as a family dispute. That's not a legal dispute in my eyes. That is for you to bring correction from your family. Whatever that correction may be, separating the 2 children, beating the child, and then separating the 2 children. That's up to you. That's up for you to decide. But this is fully grown men above the age of 18 with 10-year-old girls. This happened in 2001. Still the millennium. That's not too long ago if it's the millennium. It's the millennium. It's the 21st century. That's not too long ago. These are marriages that should have never been recognized by the American government. 10-year-old girls? Oh, I guess they thought because they were 24, 25, and 31, the men, that's okay. It's kind of close. My rules are, is if you're 18, you shouldn't be with no one under 18. I don't care if they're 17. I don't care if they're 17. You should be coming into the world of adulthood. You should be looking at everything in the new adult world. Far as companionships, you shouldn't be looking back to nothing. Why should you? If your brain is right and you're independent and you're trying to become adult and live in an adult world, why are you looking back to children who cannot offer you an adult experience? That's a 7. There's something retarded about that. Literally. And your government is allowing it, and you telling me they're not retarded. Well, you know what the word retarded means, don't you? Something that does not progress. So if you allow an adult to marry children, how are they progressive? How is that progressive? Huh? They're resulting back to being with children. That's extreme retardation. It's non-progressive. A man should be out in the world being with a woman. He shouldn't be doing the same thing he was doing when he was a child, doing sexual things with children. That's what children do. That's what boys do. Why is he still being with girls when he's no longer a boy anymore? Explain that. This is 3 10-year-old girls, 3 of them, marrying them like they're like a litter, like cats in a litter. 3 10-year-old girls married in Tennessee. These are facts, guys. See, I told you I wasn't no conspiracy theorist. Now, don't you like it? Don't you see where this is at? This is good. These are facts. 3 10-year-old girls married in Tennessee by 3 fully grown men. 10-year-old girls. Now, here's the kicker. We never heard a boy case before, did we? I know you probably heard girl cases all around the world and all. You've heard of girls and sex slavery and all this. I've never heard a boy case. Here's the first official boy case I've really heard. The youngest boy to marry was an 11-year-old boy who married a 27-year-old woman in 2006. Again, that's the millennium, guys. That's not a very long time ago. A woman married an 11-year-old boy. An 11-year-old boy. You wonder if he can even get an erection at all. No, that's a real conversation. That's a real conversation. Why was this marriage recognized as a real marriage and not sexual perversion? This is not a marriage. How does a 27-year-old woman ministrating and everything? Let's just keep it 100. How does she find any companionship with an 11-year-old child? This is a real marriage, by the way. The youngest boy to marry was an 11-year-old who married a 27-year-old woman in 2006. These are marriages, folks, that should have never happened. How's the hubby gonna provide? That's her hubby. She got an 11-year-old hubby. We got real cases to look at here now. How can he go provide? He can't even work. If he wanted to, he can't even get an ID. For crying out loud. He definitely can't drive a car if he wanted to. So what can he do? All he can do is be a sex object, which is perversion, sexual perversion. Now, again, if a 27-year-old woman was with an 11-year-old child, a 11-year-old boy, without marriage, and you seen them messing with an 11-year-old boy, what would y'all do? Y'all will whoop that trick, won't you? Hey. That's a 27-year-old woman, almost a fully grown adult, messing with an 11-year-old boy. And here's my thing. See, you listen to that and you say that's awful. I want you to think about more than awful. I want you to think about this. What would be done if this was the streets? If this was the streets and you came over to your apartment in the hood, let's just put it in the hood. It's a 27-year-old female having sex with an 11-year-old boy. What would y'all do? Aunties and uncles, y'all probably kill that girl, boy. Wouldn't y'all probably kill her, right? Man, you would beat her till she was crippled. Y'all would beat her till she was crippled, right? 11-year-old. And I'm thinking, is the child can get an erection? Is the child, is the child super endowed? Or did the child, these are the thoughts you get. Is the child able even to perform and be with this woman sexually? Because ain't nothing else there. Let's establish this, folks. There's nothing else there. It puzzles you. What made her, a 27-year-old woman, find any interest, whether it's sexual of nature or not? What, even there, 11-year-old, can he even get an erection? Does he even have any penis? This is crazy. This is a marriage that should have never been officially recognized by the American government. And this is what I'm showing you. This is real cases now. We got real cases here now. Because up until this point, I hadn't given you no real cases. Hopefully the Lord would show me more real cases and reveal to me more real cases. Because now I'm bringing it home to you. I'm showing you real people. I'm showing you real situations, real marriages that were recognized, child marriages recognized by the American government as official marriages. Just in case you thought I was in fairy tale land and talking about something that ain't really going on. This is an 11-year-old boy, not even a preteen yet, married to a 27-year-old girl. Might as well say girl. 27-year-old woman. What in the world was she thinking? She gonna marry him. I think they already had sex. How could she marry just look at an 11-year-old kid now? Look, let's go through the scenario. How does she look at an 11-year-old child and say, I want to marry him? Come on now, think about it. She's 27. So let's just say she's driving, she's working, something to that nature. Out of all her routes out here in America, her routines, she finds that she wants to marry an 11-year-old child. How does that happen? Were they already having sex? Were they conveniently together in some place where they were interacting with each other? Was she babysitting this kid? No, I'm serious. How did she get in the scenario with the kid in the first place? How did she get around this 11-year-old child that it was not her family? How did she get in? How did the parents let this even happen? 27-year-old marries a 11-year-old boy. Yeah, because see, I told y'all, you think it's the men that's doing it. Only the men that's doing it. You know what you forgot about the American community? Your most famous pedophile in this country is a female. Oh, you didn't know that, did you? The most famous pedophile, an adult that has sexual desire for children, was a female. Yeah, that woman that married the Filipino kid. That was her student, the white woman. She married the Asian kid, and they went on the Oprah Winfrey show. She went on the Oprah Winfrey show. I need to look at it to see how crazy that woman look. I know they got some clips on YouTube. You need to look at it too. The most famous pedophile in America, for all you sexist women that say, well, it's the men that, you feminists, that's the word I'm going to use. All these feminists that want to say, well, it's the men that's really out here like dogs messing with these children. Then how come your most famous pedophile, where people are most outraged, was a woman? You want me to tell you how? And she was a school teacher on top of that, what made it so bad. You're supposed to be protecting the children. You're supposed to be sexualizing the children. You know why? Because women are deceptive. They're beautiful too. They have beauty. They can hide behind their beauty. Oh, if a man sees a woman looking at a child, he might think, oh, that means she's motherly. Something to that degree. Or he may not even think about it at all. Police included. You see a drop-dead gorgeous woman, she's lusting after children in public. You don't think nothing of it because you too busy looking at her. You too busy looking at her camel toe popping out. No, let's keep it 100. You too busy looking at her camel toe popping out her leggings. Oh, you don't want to be 100, do you? See, I told you I'm 100. Cops included. You too busy looking at her camel toe. You don't even know what she's doing, how she's interacting with the children. Your most famous pedophile, America, is a female woman. Is a female pedophile. That's what we should call these female pedophiles anyway, a female woman. That means you a girl. Well, how you find interest in a child is besides me. We're going to call you a female girl, a female woman. It makes sense to me. But this woman married an 11-year-old boy, and then in Tennessee, 3 10-year-old girls. You know how young a 10-year-old girl look? Leg-wise, all of that. Leg-wise and all of that. You know how young a 10-year-old girl looks? To a man now. Children is one thing. To a man. You know how young that would look? I'm not justifying children messing around, but I want to make it clear that children will have sexual experiences among themselves that we can't do nothing about until after the fact, until it's too late, which means it's too late. But no fully grown man should be interacting sexually with 10-year-old girls. How does this even get recognized by the American government is besides me? Which means, which is going to be one of my videos, they gave the option. Now, the option is where we campaigning at now, guys. The option. Because what they're going to tell you is, oh, well, it's with parental consent that you can get married to children. The parents got to approve it. I don't care who approves it. This is how we win this war. The American government, listen right here. The American government should not allow it to have been an option in the first place. This is how we beat them. It should have never been an option. You are the one that made it an option. Who made it an option? The American community or the American government? Who made this child marriage an option? You trying to put the parents in it like that's making it better. You ain't making it better that way, in my opinion. You making the parents be part of this sin. You making the parents be part of this foolishness. That ain't making it better, actually. You just joined somebody else to it. You just joined the parents to it. How that's making it better? Morally speaking. Yeah, you're clearing it with the parents, but morally speaking, you're making it worse. That's a 7. So this is how we get you. Because see, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to say, well, it's with parental consent or with the clerk or judge's consent. And with good discretion, basically. Yeah, you tried to dress it up, but it didn't work. Because somebody that's smart like me, I look at it like this. It should have never been an option. Why is it an option in the first place for you to marry children? For a 27-year-old woman to marry an 11-year-old boy? How's that an option in your country? I don't care if it was with parental consent or not. Why did you make it an official option to the American public? That's a 7. That's what we got you right there. Yeah, you tried to make it look clean. It ain't nothing but pedophilia. In other words, they saying, well, if you want to have sex with that little boy or that little girl, then you're going to have to marry him so we're not liable. So we look like we have some integrity. That's why they're doing it. It ain't nothing but pedophilia. Why would a woman marry an 11-year-old boy? Why would a woman marry an 11-year-old boy? He can't work. Who knows if he can get an erection? Who knows if he has enough penis to penetrate the woman? And he probably can't ejaculate, which means he can't give her a family. He can't give her a family for about 5 years. So she would be what? How old? 5 years? Okay, she's 27. She would be 32 before she could even get a family, which most women want their children in their 20s. Many women do. But the bottom line is, when she first married him, he couldn't even give her children. That's how young he was. He couldn't even ejaculate and give her children. Even if he did get an erection, even if he did have any penis to penetrate this woman, he could not give her a family like normal people. And he could not work. He couldn't even get an ID, for crying out loud. 11-year-old boy, he couldn't even get an ID. Now here's the thing. This is what I'm finna hit you with right here. For people who like to bash the gay community, right? Let's break this down. and pass it all around. Okay, now let's say this is how I'm gonna show you how you really are. These are going to be like 3D glasses. I'm gonna show you how quick you change. Watch this. Watch my next statement. My next statement is gonna be like 3D glasses. Watch this. What if this was a gay man that was married to an 11-year-old boy? Boom. What if it was a gay man that was married to an 11-year-old boy? You see how you change right there? You see those 3D glasses, right? You see that effect right there, right? If it was a gay man, y'all would want him dead for marrying an 11-year-old boy. But a woman does it and you say nothing. See that? Even if he was 27, you would still want that boy dead like he molested your child and he was a grown man. 27 is a man, masculine, and can be very tall and big and everything. If you seen a 27-year-old man messing around your 11-year-old boy, y'all killing him, ain't you? Y'all killing him, ain't you? And if any of these grown men try to marry your boys, listen what I said now. If any of these grown men, gay men, try to marry your boys, you want to kill them, don't you? You if you could get away with it, you would do it, wouldn't you? See, I'm trying to show you straight people how you think. Because you let women do stuff and you don't think nothing about it. I just showed you how a 27-year-old woman